This is where the navigator, that's the command module pilot, spends most of his time, in the navigation bay. He has, of course, up there on his panel, also instruments that he has to check all the way through the flight, basically instruments that tell him the fuel states of the engines on board. But here's where he spends most of his time. And he spends most of his time looking through a sextant and a telescope up here. You navigate in space using those instruments like this. You line up the instruments on a star, and when you've lined that up, you press the button and that information goes into the computer. And the computer then says, yes, I agree, that star is where it ought to be, therefore we're on course. It's useful that the computer can check that, because on Apollo 8, they once lined up the instruments on a blob of urine that was floating not too far away in space, and the computer said, don't be worried, we're not in the wrong place, that's not a star, that's a blob of urine. This is the only part of the spacecraft that you can actually stand up in, because it leads to the docking tunnel through to the lunar module. And being able to stand up in a spacecraft really pleases most astronauts.